Genesis 24 is one of the longest chapters in Genesis. And strangely, almost none of it is about Abraham. It's about finding Isaac a wife. But what if that's actually the point? Remember what God promised Abraham: a family, a nation, a future. Now Sarah is dead. Isaac is alive, but the promised family has to continue. So Abraham sends his servant on a mission. And his instructions are interesting. Verse 6 says Isaac must not return to Abraham's homeland. Why? Abraham left that land in Genesis 12. Now Isaac is forbidden from going back. Could Genesis be showing us a pattern? Abraham left his homeland to follow God's promise. Now the next generation must not reverse that movement. Then Abraham says something remarkable. In verse 7, he expects God to send an angel ahead of the servant. He's sending someone into an unknown land to find a woman he's never met. Yet Abraham expects God to guide the journey. Then the servant arrives at a well and prays. His request is extremely specific. The woman should give him water, and then offer to water his camels. And Rebekah appears. She does exactly that. But here's the interesting part. The servant asked for water. Rebekah gives him water, then voluntarily does more. She waters all his camels. Verse 21 says the servant is wondering at her. Why? Maybe he isn't simply watching whether she performs the sign. Maybe he's watching her character. Then something else caught my attention. Abraham left his homeland in Genesis 12. Now Rebekah is asked to leave hers. And in verse 58, she simply says, "I will go." Could Genesis be repeating the same pattern? A person leaves what is familiar and steps into a future they cannot see. Then Isaac appears. Verse 62 says he is coming from Beer-lahai-roi, the place associated with Hagar's encounter with God in Genesis 16. Why mention that location? Is it simply geography? Or could Genesis be connecting Isaac's story with another part of Abraham's family? Then Rebekah arrives. And verse 67 says Isaac takes her into Sarah's tent and is comforted after his mother's death. Think about that. Genesis 23 ends with Sarah's death. Genesis 24 ends with Rebekah entering Isaac's life. One generation leaves. Another begins. And the promise continues. So maybe Genesis 24 isn't really just a marriage story. Could it be showing us how God's promises move through ordinary people, journeys, relationships, and decisions? And could that pattern appear again and again throughout Scripture? What do you think?